Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Kenyans have been asking themselves a number of questions. Why is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka trending on social media and mainstream media? As we are speaking now, any journalist in Kenya want to interview Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And even we have listened to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka yesterday when he had an interview on Citizen TV and one of the Ukambani vernacular station. Is it most or what? Kalonzo has come out clear on the formation of the Grand Coalition, where he still insists on having Azimio One Kenya as their coalition name. And Kalonzo goes ahead again to insist that if he's not going to get a running mate position in Raila Amolo Odinga camp, then he's going to demand one-third of Raila Amolo Odinga's government. And today, Kalonzo Musyoka, together with Gideon Moi, have shared some photo on their Facebook page after having a meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday night at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's residence in Nairobi. So today, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, together with Gideon Moi, have shared photo on their Facebook page after having a meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday night. Now, Kalonzo and Gideon Moi are part of One Kenya Alliance principles. Cyrus Jirongo was there, but he's not in these photos, meaning he was not informed or he did not attend that meeting. Hapa ndio nikifika huwa nasema ya kwamba Waluya wamekuwa so much confused until wanapangwa kila mahali. Mudavadi alikuwa anapangwa na Kalonzo akatoka. Now even Cyrus Jirongo is nowhere to be seen in such meetings. Even when Mudavadi went to William Samoei Ruto, he's not even playing second fiddle to William Samoei Ruto. He's not. Look at Governor Oparanya, and that is, by the way, he might not appear really on the national politics or at the same level on how Kalonzo is going to be regarded in this coalition. But the good thing is that they might vote for Raila Odinga, and if Mudavadi was there, then he could have represented the Luya community in a better way under Azimio. But that has not worked. Anyway, that was by the... So this is what Kalonzo Musyoka shared on his Facebook page after having a meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta. If you allow me to read. It was my absolute pleasure and joy to host my brother, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and my fellow Oka principal, Baringo Senator Gideon Moi, at my Nairobi residence yesterday evening. We are Azimio One Kenya, and we will fully support the candidature of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga for the presidency in the forthcoming August general election. That is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. One thing he has insisted on is Azimio One Kenya. Now, this is what Gideon Moi again shared. We are forging a broad-based coalition that will leave no one behind in its quest to build united and a prosperous nation. With President Uhuru Kenyatta and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka. He also shared the same photos. Now, the question we want to try and answer on this punchline today is why President Uhuru Kenyatta decided to meet Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi as One Kenya Alliance principles. And what it means for Raila Amolo Odinga in Azimio la Umoja. But before we go deep into that, I have a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drops comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our video to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has been making a lot of noise in social media. To an extent, this war seemingly is looking like there is a fight between Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Amolo Odinga. But that is not the truth. The reality on the ground is that there is a war between Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and the 3 governors from Ukambani region. That is the real fight on the ground. And President Uhuru Kenyatta, looking on this issue, he understands that if he's not going to offer a solution to this, then it might turn out into something else that might not make good sense in Azimio la Umoja coalition. So the president wants to try and bring sanity and the unity that Raila Amolo Odinga need from Kalonzo Musyoka and the Ukambani governors during this campaign time to the electioneering season. That is the biggest reason why Uhuru Kenyatta is meeting with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Because Kalonzo came out and even yesterday he still insists that there was an agreement that they are going to form Azimio One Kenya. That is the alliance they are going to have. But some leaders in ODM and mainly governors from Ukambani region don't want to agree to that because for them, they had already earlier joined Raila Amolo Odinga and they have been pushing together in Azimio la Umoja. They want Azimio la Umoja to remain the way it is. But there are also some technical issues people are questioning on. That if One Kenya Alliance had preserved the name for a coalition, then Azimio again had preserved the name for coalition. So it becomes hard to merge 2 coalitions together rather than political parties forming a coalition. That's another technicalities. But Kalonzo as a lawyer still insists that Azimio One Kenya is going to be the coalition. So the question is, why is this Ukambani governors insisting on having Azimio la Umoja only? Because he has talked about Charity Ngilu and the other governors as the stumbling block between him and Raila Amolo Odinga. Because in my view, I believe Raila Odinga has no problem with the name. Remember, there was called coalition earlier. And when Musalia Mudavadi decided to join Raila Odinga, he insisted to come with the NASA coalition. Raila, he knew what he wanted. He wanted to fly the flag of that coalition. So the name does not matter. What matters is the value that these leaders are bringing into that coalition. He easily accepted NASA, with Mudavadi joining with the ANC party only, and Raila used that coalition to achieve what he wanted. Of course, he won election, lakini kitu walimunyang'anya tu. So Raila has no problem of changing the name of the coalition. His eyes on the ball to be the flag bearer and have a team that will bring sense on ballot. Period. But now, the issue is with how to accommodate Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and the governors from Ukambani region. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta, seemingly, he has a preferred person to tag with Raila Amolo Odinga as the running mate. It might be Peter Kenneth or someone else. Largely, especially from Mount Kenya region. Kalonzo was here, insisting that if he's not going to be a running mate Raila Amolo Odinga, then he's going to demand a third of that government. I said this before. 1/3 of the Azimio government. That is what Kalonzo is putting on table in the public. So President Uhuru Kenyatta, having his own running mate Raila Amolo Odinga, had to meet with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and iron out some issues on how they are going to share this government. So the president has become the mediator between Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and even negotiating for himself. So this is one of the issues they have talked on, how to go about the running mate position. Because Kalonzo has high hopes to be a running mate Raila Amolo Odinga. And many people agree to this. He can still bring value to that candidature. Kalonzo can even campaign outside the Ukambani region and attract some numbers to Raila Amolo Odinga's side. Unlike any other individual, if Raila gets a running mate from Mount Kenya, then that running mate can only help to get some vote within mountain region and not outside the Mount Kenya region. So still, Kalonzo has good value he can bring to that ticket. So one of the discussion on table is how to go about the running mate position if Kalonzo and Uhuru can agree who is the best running mate to tag with Raila Odinga. Because Raila is a candidate from ODM. Now, the running mate position has been left between Uhuru and Kalonzo to decide. Raila has no problem. He's just waiting. They give him a running mate to go ahead. Secondly, to agree with President Uhuru Kenyatta, if they will go with the first agreement between Uhuru, Raila, and Kalonzo on which coalition name to use. If it will be Azimio One Kenya the way he's insisting, na amesema wakikataa hiyo, atakuja kupiga kelele huku naambia wa Kenya about the agreement on the coalition name. So Kalonzo, pushing for Azimio One Kenya, he want to now make sure that the governors in Ukambani understand that he has value is bringing and more sense to Azimio la Umoja than what they can bring on table to Raila Amolo Odinga. So he want to remain the kingpin in Ukambani region. And these Ukambani governors understand that if Kalonzo will become a running mate Raila Odinga, then chances of getting more slot on their side is minimum. But if it's not a running mate, then they can get more slots from this government. And Kalonzo is brave. That's why he's insisting, if it's not a running mate, then he's demanding a third of that government, 1/3 of that government, to the wiper side. That means whichever side they want to play into, still he want a big stake, leaving these governors with nothing to share among themselves. And especially Kivuda na Mudhama. At least Charity Ngilu is running for governorship for the second time. So if his party is given a position, then she can appoint someone to be in that cabinet or whichever position they can give out. So Kalonzo has become so much stubborn so that Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta can listen to him. So this is not the war between Raila Odinga and the Kalonzo Musyoka. The war here is between Kalonzo and the governors in Ukambani. He wants Raila Amolo Odinga to drop these governors and give him a frontline position in this Azimio coalition, so that Kalonzo can become the face of the Ukambani region. And these governors can only play second fiddle to Kalonzo Musyoka. That's why you see, Raila is going to have his rally in Ukambani. So Kalonzo is saying that as Oka, which has joined the Azimio, he will not be in Ukambani to drum up support together with Raila Odinga. He wants to leave the Ukambani rally to these three Ukambani governors, Kivuda, Ngilu, and Alfred Mutua, so that they remain campaigning for Raila Odinga. And for them, they will be heading to another region together with Gideon Moi to popularize for Raila Amolo Odinga. So you see, even up to now, they don't want to meet. He don't want to meet with these governors in same campaign before they give him a role to play in this coalition.